I've always had an interest in Russia. I mean, my father flew for the Royal Air Force on coastal command, and their job was protecting the convoys going to and from Russia. So I always had an interest in Russia. I joined the Royal Air Force, and my job was the missiles that were pointed at Russia. But then I left, and this guy called Gorbachev came along, and he started changing the world, changing everything. And Russia, the Soviet Union at the time, opened up. So I just thought I wanted to go and see this country that my father had seen, that was supposedly my enemy, but wasn't anymore. So I came over and I wandered around Moscow, looked all over Moscow. I jumped on the Trans-Siberian, and I ended up in Irkutsk, looking around Irkutsk in the middle of winter. Russia is a really fun place to be at the moment because it's catching up in so many ways from the West, yet in other ways it's so far ahead of the game of the West. I find that Russians are very well educated. They're always willing to learn and learn something new. I think perhaps at times they generally are a little bit restricted in terms of they want to work within a structure, but I enjoy it. I enjoy marrying a Russian. I do think within Russia, business is starting to get a little bit concerned because until the Russian elections happen at the end of the year, the start of next year, there's an uncertainty. And within business, whether you like a government or you don't like a government, you agree with the policies or not, there is certainty. And business hates uncertainty. Large businesses, they're changing today. What's happening is that, as I said previously in a previous question, social networks, social integration, ways of talking to their customers are changing. We call it digital transformation, other people call it different things, but companies are moving to a much more intimate relationship with their customers. You only have to look at airlines who publish constantly on Twitter and look at all the companies that previously were staid and boring, yet now are those that are engaging on Facebook. So it's moving to a digital environment and having a much more intimate relationship with their customers. Orange's customers, where are they moving? Again, I think they're following the same digital transformation process, albeit at different speeds in different industries. You've only got to look at customers like Clarins, who are moving to a much more, digitally connected way of talking to their customers to gain customer intimacy and to gain customer knowledge. We're no longer selling a product to a client. We're actually part of an ecosystem. And indeed, particularly when you look at things like the move towards Internet of Things, our customers are also our partners, are also customers and partners of other customers. Business is changing, and we at Orange Business Service are the ones that are driving that change. We're leading that change both here and globally, and it's really good fun to be the ones that are showing the rest of the world where to go, how to change, how to develop. My job is a big part of my life, and business is a very important part of my life. What do I see in business? I think it's almost a competition. It's a constant struggle to be the best. I don't really find too many things intolerable. I find certain behaviors totally intolerable. If somebody lies to me when they've made a mistake to try and hide, or if somebody tries to con me into giving them a decision that they want, that I find intolerable. What's my superpower? I don't think I've got one, to be honest. Natalia tells me I'm a robot because when the alarm goes up at 5:30, I get up straight away. My marketing team call me a robot because I'm in early and up late. So, maybe my superpower is being a robot. Fascinating technologies. I think the one that's got me intrigued is self-driving cars. Who wants a self-driving car? Driving's fun. So you're bringing a technology in to make life more boring. Don't really think that's a good idea. a dinner with somebody from the past. That's a question I've been asked so many times. I said before, I'm a bit of a history buff, so I'd like to have a few historical characters. I'd like to have Winston Churchill so I can share a cigar with him. I'd like to bring Margaret Thatcher along. I'd also like to bring Lenin along. Now, I do realise that Lenin and Winston Churchill didn't get on and wouldn't get on, but, you know, Margaret Thatcher does have a very strong handbag and she would beat the other two into submission so we could have a decent conversation. Is art inspiring? No. Personal mission? I guess enjoy life, have fun, and leave a positive impression of me and what I did behind me.